1969, fifth tallest building in Chicago. When it was completed, it had the deepest foundation of any building in the world. Still the deepest foundation in Chicago, goes down over 200 feet. That's another great observation deck if you get a chance. It's called 360. They also have glass boxes you can go out into. Theirs are called the tilt because they lean out at an angle. With the Willis Tower sky deck, you get more height. With the John Hancock Center's 360, you're closer to the lake. So you get a gorgeous view of the water as well. Next, we're going to look up ahead on the right. See the building that says James Hardie at the top? Let's look behind that. In the second row, you'll see a building with wavy white balconies. In the second row on your right, Aqua Tower from 2009. The idea is those wavy white balconies imitate eroded limestone outcroppings in the Great Lakes area. If you go to Starved Rock State Park, a couple hours west of here, you'll see rock formations that look a lot like those wavy balconies in the second row. When it was completed in 2009, Aqua Tower was the tallest building in the world, designed by a woman-led architecture firm, Studio Gang, led by Chicagoland architect Jeannie Gang. She graduated from the University of Illinois, went on to Harvard. She's won a MacArthur Genius Grant. She's currently doing an $8 billion renovation of the O'Hare Airport. And Jeannie Gang is also the reason that Aqua Tower is no longer the tallest building in the world, designed by a woman architect, because she designed an even taller one. And it's coming up on your right. That 3-level glass skyscraper is my favorite building in Chicago. From 2020, the St. Regis. St. Regis is the third tallest building in Chicago, the tallest building in the world, designed by a woman. Here's where we'll talk about our third method of sway reduction. How we calm down skyscrapers swaying in the breeze. Near the top of that tallest tower, there's a gap. That's called a blow-through floor. The idea is wind can take a shortcut through that gap, take some of the pressure off the tallest part of the building. That blow-through floor was not in the original plans for the St. Regis. Around the time they started construction, they did some more small-scale tests, realized they needed more help with the wind. So they just never built floors 83 and 84. Which is a bummer for the developers because many of those other floors sold for millions of dollars as high-end apartments. Like one of the penthouse units, the top 2 floors, that middle tower, sold for about $20 million. One of the biggest sales in Chicago's history, and I'm pretty happy with my purchase. The St. Regis is made with 6 different shades of blue glass, meant to imitate how the water and the sky look different under different light conditions. That blue glass gets darker where the building gets narrower, and lighter where the building gets wider. The St. Regis is luxury apartments on the top with a luxury hotel on the bottom. Rooms in that hotel start at around $700 a night. In the St. Regis, third tallest building in Chicago, tallest building in the world, designed by a woman. On your left is the Centennial Fountain from 1989. Celebrated the 100-year anniversary of the sanitary district to control all the water in Chicago. Remember Mies van der Rohe, that black box style? Designed by his grandson, Dirk Lohan. This fountain was actually shut down in 2019 because it was damaged by a flood, and they just turned it on about 3 weeks ago, just in time for the Democratic National Convention. So it's still pretty exciting for us to see it as well. The Centennial Fountain. Off in the distance to the left, you'll see the multicolored lights on the Ferris wheel on Navy Pier. Did you know the world's first Ferris wheel ever was actually at our World's Fair of 1893? And that original Ferris wheel from the 1800s was actually way bigger than the one you see now. It was 5 stories taller than that. Every car was a converted train car. It could hold around 2,000 people. Today's Ferris wheel sitting on Navy Pier. Navy Pier was built in 1916. It wasn't always the fun place it is today. It's been a military base. During World War II, they trained pilots from the base on Navy Pier. The last skyscraper on the left is a 3-sided black skyscraper, Lake Point Tower, 1968. Designed by some students of Mies van der Rohe, so there's a black box feeling to it, but it curves to maximize views of the lake. You'll notice Lake Point Tower is standing all by itself. It's actually the only skyscraper on the lakeside of that road. DuSable Lakeshore Drive runs down the edge of Lake Michigan. And the Chicago lakefront is supposed to be public access. A lot of parks and beaches, not skyscrapers. But in the late 60s, those developers found a zoning loophole that allowed them to build those fancy apartments.